When to fix your car and when to walk away from it. Hey guys, Brent here from Accel Auto. So when facing a big car repair, a question we get asked a lot is, what should I do? Should I stick the money into it? Should I just be done with this car? I feel like I'm spending a lot of money on this car lately. When do I pull the plug and walk away from it? So when our customers are in this situation, first of all, we realize that usually it's unexpected, it's in the heat of the moment, and there's a lot of stress and emotions involved. So we try our best to just walk alongside that customer, whoever that may be, to try to make the best decision for them. And although there is an emotional side to the decision of, do you like the vehicle? Does the vehicle have a meaning to you? I think the smartest thing to do is use the numbers approach. So our team really uses the numbers approach, or the numbers factor, when we're trying to decide what to do with the vehicle. And that sometimes it could look kind of like this. Let's say you're facing a maybe even a $4,000 car repair, but your vehicle's only worth $8,000. So you're like, I don't know if it makes sense to put that much money into a vehicle that's, the repair is going to be half of its value. So we like to just kind of go like this. If you can imagine, you don't fix it. Let's say you walk away from the vehicle. Well, at that point, what's the vehicle worth? And the answer is not much. Maybe $300, $400, $500 if we have to scrap it, or you try to sell it yourself at marketplace. So you're already taking a big loss, and that's a guaranteed loss, in my opinion. So, and then let's talk about the decision if you wanted to just buy another vehicle. So you want to buy another vehicle. Maybe you have to get into a car payment for that vehicle. Well, an average car payment right now is $500 a month for a used car. I believe it's like $700 a month for a new car. And let's say you buy a used car and you have a $500 a month car payment for 1 year. That's $6,000. So I like to say, if we do this repair, we believe we can get at least another year out of it. That, in sense, is $6,000. Here's the other thing to think about is you might be inheriting somebody else's problems. So buying a used car, know that almost all used cars are gonna have some repairs needed. They all need some work. So by buying another vehicle, sometimes doesn't even solve the problem that you're in. Sometimes you buy another vehicle and it needs $1,500, $2,000 worth of work to make it reliable. And of course, usually you don't notice that until after you buy the vehicle and you've been driving it for a couple weeks. So financially, numbers wise, usually it makes more sense to fix the vehicle you have, the vehicle that we already know everything about. We know the state that it's in, the condition that it's in, rather than rolling the dice and buying something different. But there are times when that's not the case. And being in Michigan, one of those times is when the rust just gets to them and we start getting structural damage, and especially when we say this vehicle's really not safe anymore. The frame could let go at any moment, a strut tower could separate and blow out. So we unfortunately condemn a lot of vehicles just due to Michigan rust. And so that's one reason. Another reason is if we can see your vehicle and look into the future a little bit and say, you know what, I think you've got let's say we fix this big repair right now. There are multiple other things that are going to be coming down the pipeline that we know you're going to have to sink money into. So at that point, if that's the case, sometimes we say, you know what, maybe it does make sense to cut your losses now rather than putting the money into it, knowing we're going to have more repairs, expensive repairs coming down the line, in the near future. So that's the approach we take, and it varies situation to situation, scenario to scenario. It also varies. Do you owe money on the vehicle? There's lots of factors that kind of play into this. So we do our very best to try to help out, think through it, and make a logical decision. All right, guys, hope this helps. I'll talk to you later.